Hi everyone, it's Tatyana from Tatyana's Everyday Food, and today I'm going to be sharing with you guys one of my absolute favorite dinner recipes. This is a soy sauce ginger garlic glazed lamb chop. It's a little bit different from your traditional lamb recipe. It's not made with Mediterranean herbs or mustard. It has a little bit of an Asian twist to it, but it's absolutely delicious. It yields this really tender and juicy, flavorful lamb. Today I'm serving it with crushed baby potatoes, seasoned with a little bit of dried herbs on top. It's a great combination, and this dish is sure to impress your dinner guests. We're going to begin by preparing our baby potatoes. So I've cooked about a pound of baby potatoes until they're fork tender, and I'm preheating my oven to 400 degrees. Then the first step, I've lined a baking sheet with some foil, or we're going to take either a potato masher or the back of a fork or a large spoon. We're going to crush our potatoes, just gently pressing them until they come apart. And we're going to do this for all of our potatoes. We're going to sprinkle the top of each potato with a little bit of olive oil. It's going to help all the spices stick to the top. We're going to season it with salt. And now for our spices. So I have some dried basil that I'm going to sprinkle on the top of each one. And now for our smoked paprika. I love using this in my baking recipes. It adds such great flavor. It adds that smoky note to your dish. And last, we're going to add a little bit of garlic powder to the top. Now you can also add freshly minced garlic. I think this is a little bit easier. And now we're going to pop these into the oven, and we're going to bake them for about 25 to 30 minutes until the edges start turning a nice golden crispy brown color. Before I start preparing my lamb, I'm first going to make my sauce. So I'm going to add about 1/3 cup of soy sauce into a small saucepan. And next we're going to add a few cloves of minced garlic. We're also going to add a few tablespoons of freshly minced ginger. And I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of honey. I'm also going to add a little bit of water, so I add about a cup of water. I'm going to bring this over to the stovetop, and we need to simmer the sauce over medium heat for about 20 minutes. And I like to cook it for about 20 minutes just so all that ginger and garlic can really soften up and infuse the sauce. And now for my lamb. So I like to purchase a nice rack of lamb that still has a lot of fat on the front here. It's going to add lots of flavor. And now we're going to section this. So I'm not going to prepare it as a full rack. I'm just going to section it into pairs. So you want to take a nice sharp knife, cut all the way through. And I like to do this because then you get to sear the meat on all the sides, and you get that nice caramelized flavor instead of just on the outside. There you go. Next we're going to season it with a little bit of salt. Now we don't want to add too much salt since our sauce is going to add some seasoning. Just a little bit. I have a large pan heating over high heat, and once it's hot, we could start adding our lamb. I'm going to add it fat side down first, and you want it to be really hot so it gets a nice caramelized color on the outside. Once the fat is rendered and has a nice golden brown color, go ahead and turn the lamb chops over and just continue searing the meat on all sides. Want a nice golden brown color everywhere. Once you have your lamb seared on all sides, it's ready for our sauce. So just take a spoon and add a little bit of that ginger garlic mix on top of each lamb chop. And now our lamb chops are ready to go into the oven. So I have my oven set at 375 degrees, and these need to bake for about 10 minutes. And I like my lamb chops to be like a medium rare. If you want them to be more well done, just bake them for a little bit longer. Take the lamb out of the oven a few times and baste it with that delicious sauce that's pooling at the bottom, just to get all that flavor. When you take your lamb out of the oven, just let it rest in the pan for about 5 minutes. It'll continue cooking, and it'll really redistribute all the juices on the inside. And now we're ready to cut it. Just take a nice sharp knife, split these in half. You can see that nice tender meat on the outside, nice pink color, and that's just the way I like my lamb chops. If you want them more done, just keep them in the oven for a little bit longer. And now it's time to plate. I'm going to add a few of my roasted baby potatoes. And it looks so beautiful. I love that nice golden brown color. Add a few of these on my tray here. And we're gonna top it off with these lamb chops. And then I like to add on top some of that sauce from the pan. Just pour a little bit over the top. It's a nice seasoning. And now it's time to give this dish a try. I get a little bit of everything on there, a little bit of that sauce, lamb. I can't even begin to describe how delicious this is. I just love that sweet soy sauce with that garlic and ginger glaze. It's absolutely amazing, and it complements the lamb so well. And I love those crushed baby potatoes. They're golden and crispy, and they complement this dish so well. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and I'm so glad I finally got to share my favorite recipe with you guys. Find the entire recipe on my brand new website where I have printable recipes and where you'll be able to share this recipe on Pinterest, Instagram, and Facebook.